Breaking news. The Eagles have just made another signing, and of course it comes as I was getting ready to upload this video. Adam Schefter is reporting this. Eagles are signing former Cowboys and Patriots quarterback Will Grier to a one-year deal per source. In the past week, the Eagles now have added quarterbacks Kenny Pickett and Grier. Now, here's my thoughts on Grier. I'm sure Mark Holmes is going to tell you Philly 500 is out there saying that the Eagles just signed the next Joe Montana. But the truth of the matter is this. I don't see him being anything more than a practice squad guy at best. A guy to come in, compete in camp, get cut, and maybe be on your practice squad. There ain't no way this dude's better than Tanner McKee. Hell, I'm not even sure Kenny Pickett is better than Tanner McKee. Okay, but he's a camp body nonetheless, and he's been with Kellen Moore in Dallas. I think he came back late in the season to him with the Chargers, and he's, he knows who he is. So, Will Grier is an Eagles quarterback. Now, let's start this video. So you want Justin Simmons? So you want to keep Haason Reddick? Well, time is on the Eagles side. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and you know what? Time is finally on the Eagles side. Most of the time, it's against us. It always seems to be working against us. But in this case, it seems like time is actually on our side. Because the longer Justin Simmons or Haason Reddick don't get moved or something doesn't happen, the better it is for the Eagles. We want both players on the roster this year. I want Haason Reddick back, and I want to bring in Justin Simmons. And the longer these guys don't do anything, the better chance the Eagles have to getting them. Now, before we get into it, just a quick announcement. I will be doing a subscriber live stream tonight. We will be unboxing the 100K subscribers plaque. It finally came. We'll be smoking cigars, and hopefully we'll even give a Saquon Barkley jersey away if I can figure out a fair way to actually do that. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment sections. So it's going to be a busy night because we've got this video, then we've got the Philly Shakedown podcast, and then we got the 100K subscriber plaque unboxing, and we'll hang out, we'll talk, we'll shoot the shit. It'll be a lot of fun. I look forward to it tonight. Can't wait to spend my Saturday night with you guys, and then Saturday night I'll tell my wife, time to open the fallopian tubes, it's baby making time. And then after cigar video unboxing, I'm making babies, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, it is what it is. Now, before this video came out, I had another video. And the other video was Mark Holmes being a baby. A gigantic crybaby because he's sad. I mean, let's face it. His Dallas Cowboys aren't doing anything. They aren't signing anybody. And he is trying to figure out how to be happy, how to be positive about the upcoming year for the Cowboys. So he's making up things. He's taking liberties about Eagle fans and me, and that's okay. But I tell you this, I don't think I don't think Mark Holmes can make it if this happens. NFL Rumor says this. The Dallas Cowboys with 1 L, although they really have 2 L's because they always lose in the playoffs, the Dallas Cowboys seem to be willing to let Dak Prescott hit the market in 2025. Please, Jerry Jones, I've always said happy birthday to you every birthday you have. You're 8,092 years old, and it's your birthday today. Happy birthday on being 8,093 years old. I know it's got to be tough to get up every day at 8,094 years old, but at 8,095 years old, you cannot afford to let Dak Prescott you cannot afford to let him hit the open market. When you're 8,096 years old, you might understand why. And, listen, turning 8,097 years old, you just can't allow that to do it. So happy birthday to you, Jerry Jones, 8,098 years old. I hope you have a wonderful day on your birthday at 8,099 years old. And happy birthday, you're 9,000 years old today, Jerry Jones. But you got to keep Dak Prescott, because I need to watch the Cowboys choke every year in the playoffs. I want Dak Prescott, a Dallas Cowboy fan for life. So for once, me and Mark Holmes are going to agree. We don't want the Dallas Cowboys to lose Dak Prescott. No, we do not. Not a chance in hell. The other thing I want to talk about real quick, too, is this. The Eagles, they apparently have a visit scheduled, a 30 visit, with UCLA's LATU. Now, a lot of people have written him off, medical, retirement, and the biggest score of them all, he wants to be a fireman. And that's something I don't know if I can get over that. I'm just saying, I don't know if I can get over a fireman. I have Danny Watkins flashbacks. But I'll tell you this, in all seriousness, he's talented. LATU had 13. Jeff Mosher wrote this. He said, an intriguing pass rusher prospect who will be visiting the Pound Eagles as a 30 visit is UCLA's edge LATU, a source said. He had 13 sacks last year and was the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. I have mixed feelings. I definitely think the kid is talented, but at the same time, I do worry about his medical history and the fact that he was committed to being a fireman and then came back to football. Is he going to want to take off anytime soon? That's one thing I definitely worry about too. So we'll see. There's also a report, and shout out to Swoop Scoops. If you guys haven't, I'll put the link in the description. Go give him a follow on Twitter. He's got a good young channel he's starting up, and I like it. But he wrote this, a report, the Pound Eagles have shown interest in Troy running back KIMANI VIDAL per Tony Pauline. He had 297 carries, 1,661 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Philadelphia could be looking to add more depth at their running back room as they still yet to resign Boston Scott. I really think that the Eagles will add a running back in the draft. I think you're going to see an early wide receiver and a mid to late running back, and then probably one or two undrafted free agents as well. The Eagles do need another back as a backup, so it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to do. We got a lot of time, that's for sure. Now, the big thing in my mind right now is this whole Hassan Reddick thing and Justin Simmons, okay? To me, if the Eagles could acquire Justin Simmons, the Eagles that would be a massive upgrade in the secondary, okay? I look at it like this. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, then you get Justin Simmons. Now you can use C.J. Gardner-Johnson in the slot when you want to. You can use them all over the place. And it would be a benefit to the Eagles. And hopefully it would allow you to go out and perhaps draft a corner in the first round, which, as you can probably tell, I'm really all about drafting a corner in the first round. But that doesn't work if you get rid of Hassan Reddick, right? And that's the other guy. Hassan Reddick, I do not want him going. I do not want him going anywhere. There was talk that there was something going on with him and the Falcons. It looks like that has cooled down or broken off. And we really don't know who is really going after Hassan Reddick and how hard they are going after him. And Justin Simmons, kind of similar. And I really think that the longer that Reddick is an Eagle, the longer that Justin Simmons is a free agent, the likelihood increases a lot day by day, every day that goes by, because the longer it goes, the more likely those guys will be in Philly. I really think Justin Simmons, if he has to lower his price and he has to settle for a lot less than he wants to, and maybe he goes for 1 year, I think that the likelihood is he comes to Philly, he comes with Vic Fangio, and I think we have a real shot at him. It just depends what teams are trying to offer money. It was said that he's asking for like $17 million on the open market. He's just not going to get that at his age, okay? And Reddick, of course, is asking for $25 million. And he's not going to get that, I don't believe, at his age. If we can get, I think if we can get closer to the draft, before the draft, I think that's when Justin Simmons wants to sign. Because if Justin Simmons waits till after the draft, all these teams are going to have drafted safeties. They're going to have already spent pretty much all their cap space and have cap money for draft picks. So what that means is Justin Simmons, if he doesn't sign before the draft, he's going to wind up signing in training camp. We're going to talk in August. Because at that point, once you get through the draft, you're better off if you're a free agent. You're better off waiting to training camp. You wait for somebody to get hurt. You wait for something to happen. So I think there's an opportunity a week, 2 weeks before, I'd say 2 weeks before the draft is, I think, the perfect opportunity for Justin Simmons to sign. But if I was in Justin Simmons' camp, or I was Justin Simmons myself, I would want to get this done before the draft, because we've seen too many guys not do any signings or sign with anybody, and then the draft goes by, and then nobody wants them, and they go into training camp, sometimes in the preseason, before they sign. They wait for injured players or holdouts or whatever it is. Justin Simmons would be forced to do that. So I think the Eagles have a great chance at getting him before the draft. But he's going to have to come down in price. And I think every day that goes by, the more likely that's going to happen. And as far as Haason Reddick goes, let me say this, okay? If Reddick gets through the draft without getting traded, so from this point through the draft, he's good to go. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to be an Eagle. He's going to be Eagle. Because I think the most likely scenario for Haason Reddick is he gets traded draft time, around the draft, maybe during the draft, something like that. You know, think of DeAndre Swift getting traded to the Eagles last year in the draft. I could see a position where Haason Reddick gets a team trades for him. You know, you could have a situation where a team is looking at getting a pass rusher, an edge rusher early. All the guys they want or like get taken up, so they go to the other option, Haason Reddick, and they make a trade with the Eagles. The Eagles have to stand their ground with what they're asking in value. Now, I see the Eagles in the defensive line simply like this. If the Eagles have Haason Reddick, the Eagles' defensive line is nasty. I think it's going to be one of the best in the league. But if Haason Reddick is traded, I don't think you have enough. I still think you need another pass rusher. I like the talent of Bryce Huff. I like the upside of Bryce Huff. I don't know that he can do it multiple years what he did last year, because he hasn't done it. He's got to go out and prove it. Reddick is a proven commodity. Reddick, is going to go out and have double-digit sacks. He's done it 4 years in a row. So my thing is this. Keep Reddick, then Huff really becomes your third pass rusher. And all of a sudden, you're stacked with pass rushers. You have Reddick, you have Sweat, you have Huff, then you have Brandon Graham as your fourth, and then you have the great wild card in Nolan Smith. You got the kid they got from Detroit. You've got a plethora of pass rushers. But if you take Reddick off of the list of pass rushers the Eagles have, it looks pedestrian compared to when Reddick's on there. So Reddick has got to stay, and Justin Simmons, we got to get him. And if they can do those two things, the Eagles are, to me, they're the best team in the NFC Conference. If they do those two moves, one of them is just keeping Reddick on the roster. The other one is getting Simmons. I think they got the best team. I think they got the best team on the roster. No doubt about it. Just my thoughts. Reminder, tonight we will be having some fun hanging out. So come hang out with me. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Mark is losing his mind. He has lost his mind. I think he might have just put out last night the worst take I've ever heard. He did this video, and it was called Cowboys Made the Right Move and it may spell doom for the Eagles. And he was talking about how Jerry Jones, at 9,001 years old, it's his birthday today, happy birthday. Jerry Jones was sitting there, and he was smart for not getting any running back free agents, because running back free agents don't do well on new teams. And so therefore, Dallas Cowboys have outsmarted the rest of the league, and the Eagles should expect bad things from Saquon Barkley. Don't you realize how ridiculous that sounds? He's literally, he is grasping at straws. He is grasping at anything to stop him from getting flushed down the toilet with his Dallas Cowboys. It is bad in Dallas. It is bad for Cowboy content creators. It is bad for Cowboy fans. They are sitting there twiddling their thumbs and sticking it up their ass while the Eagles are getting ready to win this division again. Denzel Washington out.